Help me, ducks. It's Simon here. How is everybody doing? I don't know if the eagle-eyed amongst you noticed an error. So up in the top corner here where it says the Hermit's Cave, it was still set. I can't find my incense either. It was still set to last Sunday's live with Chris, and it said Cartomancy Cave Special. And I was like, oops, no, I haven't changed it. Here we go. I don't feel organised today. I was just reading actually, and I was like, shoot, look at the time. You know how you do. I was reading the Four Agreements. Love this book. I've read it. I think it's the book I probably read the most actually. I've read it since about 2016, maybe 2017. And it transformed my life. I used to have the Four Agreements stuck to my wall next to my desk at work. I got the Four Agreements cards, so I could pull one just as a little reminder. I don't know if anybody else has read it, but phenomenal book. Easy read. It's not very chunky, but yeah, it's great. Simon's in the house. Let's do some hellos then before it gets too busy. So we've got Jason Underwood. That made me laugh. Jason said this is going to be good. I call Deviant Moon. So you might be surprised. We've got Maxwell and Caroline. Joanne, hello. Darcy Mack, and it's his first time here and he's excited. So welcome, Darcy. We have Kim and Tortoiseshell Moon. We've got Frank and Emma, Mike, Robin. Learning the Path. Nice to meet you. I've not seen you before either, unless it's a name change, but welcome. The lovely Stephanie's here. And we've got Anita. Susan. Hello, Susan. It's been a while. Hope you're doing okay. Kay. Green-Eyed Tarot. And we have Brian. Hello, Brian. Bryant. And I only did that to differentiate that. I wasn't saying Brian again. Brian and Bryant, both welcome. Wandering Star, how are you? Anita, did I say you? The lovely Anne, hello Anne. And oh, Anne, I saw the bear you made, Kelly. It's so beautiful. I still always have Chester with me on my desk, but I couldn't be without him. He's my little mascot. And I saw Kelly's bear that you did. You're so talented. We've got Cozy Reading Corner. Laurie, nice to see you, Laurie. And we've got Ramon. Nice to see you again, Ramon. Welcome back. And Emily. So, yeah, how is everybody doing? How's everybody's week? Hope it's gone okay. I only did one video this week, which was Kelly's pouch. So Kelly's double pouch, which... amazing. Let's just put that out there. Absolutely amazing. So that's with me on my desk with my two favorite decks in. I'm a very open-minded, outgoing person who enjoys spending time together, loving and caring for each other. Here looking for serious relationships. Well, that's very nice, Maxwell, but that's not what the channel's for. And yeah, I think you left a very similar message on Robert Alvarez's page earlier today, but it was in response to my comment. So therefore, I was alerted to it. So you're welcome to be here if you're here to talk about what we're here to talk about, which is tarot and spirituality. Or if it's dating that you're after, you probably won't find it here. I ended up buying a pouch after seeing that video. Did you? The craftsmanship or craftswomanship is exceptional, so you won't be disappointed. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay. So I did that video, and then nothing since last weekend was Cuppa Cashman Cards. The Sunday I did the live with Chris, and it was a joint live where we was both live in each other's channels simultaneously. Streaming simultaneously. So it wasn't, you know, my live or his live, it was a joint live. So that was fun to do. And we talked about the queer tarot and how we'd found using it, what our thoughts were of it and everything like that. And then, yeah, it's been the last week of the half term. So I work in education, as most of you know, and it's just been a really, really full on week. So I haven't, well, when I saw Kelly's pouch, I had to jump on and do a quick video. So, thank you. I try. Oh, you do more than try. So before we get going with the tag that I want to do today, which is a VR to Candy from the lovely channel Candy Soul and Soil, I wanted to do a channel shout out. Now, this isn't a new channel. It's been around for a while. But this person is very special. And let me grab the well, actually, let's pop that up. That says channel shout out. If I go to brand, yeah, it's Poppy Palin. Now, Poppy is the creator of the Wild Spirit, which was the first tarot deck, author of many wonderful spiritual books as well, particularly on green witchcraft. But also one of my favorite decks, which is the Everyday Enchantment. And Poppy's channel is, it's just like coming home. I get home, no matter how busy the day is, how stressful the day is, I make a cup of coffee. Poppy's got a very soothing, calm voice. She is incredibly talented and creative. And she currently is repainting all of the original Wild Spirit cards. So she's completely redoing them from scratch. And she's taking us on the journey with her. But she doesn't just talk about Wild Spirit. She's been showing all of her artwork. She'll take us through a piece that she's working on. She's been sharing things from her personal life, and you know, my heart has gone out to Poppy because she lost her life partner just a couple of months ago. And I think she's kind of throwing herself into her work at the moment. She's got lots of setbacks in terms of her health, and I just think she really deserves some love at the moment. And I really enjoyed the last couple of videos. She did a 3-parter, which was cards that never made it into the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. The ones that got away, she called it. And she's just so talented. I could just watch her and listen to her. And Kay's just subbed. Thank you. Yeah, I urge anybody who loves to see art and listen to creative people, and just, you know, when you feel like you're pulling up a chair at someone's coffee table and having a cuppa and a chat, that's how Poppy makes you feel. So hopefully, I agree, Scott. Scott says Poppy's artwork is stunning, absolutely stunning. Breathtaking, some bit. She shows some grayscale art, which I haven't seen before. And the detail in the line work, it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. So it never dawned on me she might have a channel just subbed. Brilliant. Poppy's probably getting all these little notifications now. She's probably thinking, what's happening? But she really deserves it because she puts so much time and effort into everything she does. She's a perfectionist, like most creatives. She'll show where she's done a piece of art, and for her, it's just not good enough. So she starts again, and I'm like, to me, that looks like a masterpiece. But anyway, excuse me, I feel a little bit hoarse. I don't know why. I've not been talking a lot today. Oh my goodness, Simon, I have no idea what I'd do if I lost Roger. Yeah, exactly. It's awful, and she's had a lot to put up with in recent times. So bless her heart. All right. Do you fancy a tag? Shall we do a tag? The tag is called, let me get rid of that one. It's top 10 curiosity decks. I have tagged it, but what I'll do after I finish the live, I will put a timestamp on for when this tag starts. So people who just come in to watch the tag can click to the start time and watch the tag. And I'll also put a link into the original, which is, as I said, from the lovely Candy, from Candy's Soul and Soil. So, shall we begin? So it's top 10. And again, play along. I've started really enjoying doing tags live. That doesn't mean I won't ever do a pre-recorded tag. I will, but I like doing responses to tags live because I like the interaction from you guys as well. Particularly if you don't have a channel and you want to play along, you can, talk about some decks that you like. But the idea of this tag is, if you had a cabinet of curiosity, what decks would you put into that cabinet? So decks that you feel are kind of like unusual, different in some way, a little bit obscure, or just odd, odd decks. Like, that's a bit of an odd one. And as I said, I've forgotten who it was. Jason at the beginning said, "Oh, you're going to put Deviant Moon in there," and actually I haven't, because I thought when I first saw this tag, and I saw Sandra do it as well over at the Whispering Well. Hello, Gerald. I thought, I don't know if I've got 10 odd decks. Boy, I could have done top 20. So I didn't put Deviant Moon in because I thought, well, everybody's going to expect me to put Deviant Moon in. And whilst I find it quirky, I don't necessarily know if I'd class it as kind of like an odd deck or something a bit macabre or, curious. So in 10th position is the Carnival at the End of the World. Gosh, this is the first edition. So I know the second edition has a different box. It kind of has the same pattern, but it's darker. But I got this back in 2018, so I've had it for 4 years now. It's by the Expert Playing Card Company who print it. So it's the same card quality and card size, quite big cards, as Pagan Otherworlds. So it has that very beautiful, soft linen where they just slide together. Trio of Witches Tarot said, yes, I put Carnival in my list too. And Emily says, actually, when I started to think about it, there were lots of decks that could work. So I'm sure, Sam, you have lots to share. Yeah. So, yeah, and the backs are the same as the box. Beautiful quality deck. But yeah, it's just a little bit strange. It's a deck that I would call kind of macabre in some parts, a little bit haunting. Is the images okay? It's not too dark, is it? You can see everything. I couldn't turn up the ring light, but I mean, look at that. So this is very curious, and certainly one that I would put into a cabinet of curiosities. It's fun to read with. I haven't used this deck in a couple of years actually, other than to just perhaps put photographs on when we've done like one of the cards a week that we're doing in the Hermit's Cave Facebook group. We're on our final suit now. We're on Pentacles. I can't believe we've been doing this every year. A different card going through the deck, our favourites. And we're up to Monday will be Two of Pentacles. So we're into our final suit. This reminds me of The Wicker Man with Edward Woodward, which was I think a 1973 film, something like that. But yeah, this one's certainly Japaridze. You'd put Japaridze in, would you, Caroline? Here's our Fool. The artwork is really, really nice. It's very detailed. and really well done. I love the Queen of Pentacles. Gorgeous card. Yeah, and then you get some sort of half human, half animal types as well. And there's the Hierophant. Colour has always been sort of half and half about this deck. Half fascinated, half weirded out. It is weird, but then there's some great images as well. So yeah, in 10th place, I've put Carnival at the end of the word. No, Simon, don't mention Wicker Man. The film gives me nightmares. I love it though. It's one of my all-time favorite films. You know, if somebody says to you, well, name your top 10 all-time favorite films, Wicker Man, not the Nicolas Cage travesty. We don't talk about that. From 2006. No. But the Edward Woodward, Britt Etland version of The Wicker Man was great. Best film ever, says Leslie. It's certainly up there. Hello, Christina. I haven't seen The Wicker Man yet because I'm scared. It's not a scary film like a horror film. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. It's about an outer Hebridean island off Scotland where the mainland police officer lands in a little plane because there's a child gone missing. So he's gone to investigate. And when he gets there, what was once a Christian island has now become a pagan island, and they're following the pagan traditions. But of course, because it's film, they're pagans that are not very nice pagans. But it's great. It's still really, really good. I think Martin included a Carnival deck too. Oh, okay, cool. In 9th position, this strange little deck, which I bought in Scotland when I was in Edinburgh. Again, same year I got Carnival at the End of the World. It was in 2018, but it's been out longer than that. And it's the Mibramig. I think that's how you spell it. Mibramig or Mibramig. I think it's Mibramig Magical Tarot. And this is really quirky. And I saw it in the shop at Scotland. And I was with Elaine, who I went up to stay with. And I wanted to buy a deck because I travelled all around the UK, and I wanted to buy a deck all around the UK, England, Scotland, in each area that would always remind me of that area, if that makes sense. This scrolling thing is annoying me a bit. I wonder if I can turn off the scroll so it's just there. Yes, I can. That's better. And I saw this in a shop with Elaine, and I was like, actually, I think this will be one that will always make me think, oh yeah, I got that in Scotland. Hi, Sandra. Nice to see you. So I just mentioned that, Sandra, you've done this tag as well. And I've only shown one deck so far, which was number 10, which was Carnival at the End of the World. And now I'm showing number 9, which is the Mibramig Magical Tarot. Let me look at that back. So these are kind of, again, there's lots of half human, half animal types, but it's really quirky. We do get an additional card, which is the Happy Squirrel. But yeah, it's really weird. It doesn't have any titles because it's, you know, is it Lo Scarabeo? Yes, it's Lo Scarabeo. And it's when they started taking the titles off. I've just noticed it's still got the price on it. I paid $24.95. But yeah, it's just really quite odd. There's the Strength card. I love the Hermit card in this. This is such a fun tag. It is, isn't it? And as I said, when I first saw it, I was like, Yeah, but I don't know actually if I've got 10 oddities. And then I watched Sandra's. I was like, I think I even left a message on Sandra saying, I think I might give this this tag a go, perhaps when I'm off work. And then I thought, you know what, I might do it on Saturday. And look at that. How gorgeous is that sun card? So cute. So yeah, it's quite an odd deck, but it's fun too. So that's me Brimig, Magical Tarot. Emily says, I've never seen this deck before, Simon. And Emma says, I love this tag, but seeing everyone's weirdo decks is dangerous in terms of what wish list shopping. I love weirdo decks. But yeah, this one, because it's quite weird, and I can remember the shop. I remember standing looking at it on the shelf, and then straight after, me and Elaine went to have some lunch, and I opened it in the restaurant and was looking at the cards together. So it's got happy memories as well of my visit to Scotland. So have a sup of coffee before it goes cold. Emily says, oh my God, I was haunted by what happened to the little girl and just the horror Tony's character goes through. Oh, the little girl, it was still about Wicker Man, Rowan, the little girl Rowan. Yeah, she did say that on the comment. Yes, I thought I did. Right, so in number 8, oh, Hereditary, you're talking about, oh yeah, Toni Collette is in Hereditary. Yeah, when I watched that film, when I came home, I had to have Kelly Bear explain the ending to me because we both went to see it in the cinema separately, and then I come home and I was like, "Yeah, I've just watched Hereditary. What was that bit about? What was this bit about?" And then she kind of explained it to me. I was like, "Oh, sometimes it takes a lot for me for the penny to drop." Robin says crossover with sentimental depths. Yeah, yeah, I guess it could be. Well, certainly that one. All right, so in 8th position, it's the cute and creepy tarot. I haven't had this one that long. It was sent to me by my friend Anton, but it came with a book as well. It's by Misha. The artist is called Misha. It's at the bottom, art by Misha. Beautiful in terms of the presentation. It's got this lovely gold gilding. I think it is an indie deck. But again, this is certainly a deck that wouldn't walk out of place in a cabinet of curiosities. It really lives up to its name. You know how some decks you can think, oh, I wonder why they called it that. Like my number 1 choice deck, but we'll come on to that. But it really lives up to its name. It is cute, but it is incredibly creepy as well. Not heard of this one either. Hello, Kristen. Yeah, but that isn't that what's great about tags? Tags do 2 things, really. Well, they do 3, but the main 2 things are you learn about decks that you didn't know anything about, but you also find new content creators. Because when you click on a link, it takes you to people's channels. I'm like, I've never seen this person before. Subscribe. So it's good for that. But then it's good for the whole sort of community taking part and people finding out about people's choices, likes, dislikes, etc. But yeah, this one is, I like the kind of simplicity of the artwork. It has a kind of innocence to it, has quite a youthful vibe, this deck. But really like the creepiness. Look at that for death. And we've got the kind of chrysalis happening in the jar. We've got the butterfly showing that process. This one, you know, they say justice is blind, but the whole sort of, don't know if anybody's ever seen the film Twilight Zone, the movie. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. That reminds me of that film because I think it's a film that has like 4 mini stories in one, but they all kind of link and come back at the end. But there's one where there's these people, this family living in a house, and when the girl doesn't get what she wants, she kind of her face is covered with skin. It might only be the mouth actually, but it kind of reminds me of that. Papa Legba here. Spider Woman. I love our lovers, Frankenstein and Frankenstein's Bride. That Magenta was based on actually in the Rocky Horror Show. Again, we kind of get these anthropomorphic animals. Look at that for a neck. Wind your neck in, love. Love the little fall. It's a temple foo lion. I've got a couple of them on my Buddhist shrine in the bedroom. This is an odd deck. Yes, Twilight Zone. You love it. It's a great film. See if there's any more cards that really stand out. These necks are very bizarre, aren't they? Christina says, today's my 71st birthday. Happy birthday, Christina. And I have so much still to learn about tarot. I got a late start. Never too late. Never too late. Look at June. I think June was 80 when she kind of got into tarot. I've not seen June for a while. I hope she's okay. Yeah, it's just a really, really fun deck. That's like a cross between Tweety Pie and a Phoenix. Yeah. So cute and creepy, but a great deck. Really, really great deck. Misha is very talented. Oh, look at this. The monster under the bed. So that is another one that I would put into the cabinet of curiosities. Cute and Creepy Tarot by Misha. June has become a rock hound. Instead of posting meals, she is posting photos of stones. Oh, okay. I know that she took up a sport as well. I forget what it's called now. It's not a sport we know over here. Well, it's like a racket and ball kind of sport, but I can't remember what she said it was called. But she's been doing that a lot. No, you're not an oldie. That's it's subjective, isn't it? Or age and what we consider old, young, etc. Our souls are all the same age because they're eternal. Okay, so that was number 8. Number 7. I guess it's kind of 2 decks in one because I was going to show, well, the Monica Badurski's decks, but I was going to show this one, which is an oracle because you can mix them, which is the House of Shadows. And this is the 2nd edition. Now, I believe that this has been released by Schiffer as a mass market and coloured, unless it's changed. But technically, it's a Lenormand, but it's not advertised as a Lenormand. It's called an Oracle deck. Monica Badurski's House of Shadows Oracle deck. But again, it's got things like key, scythe. But look at the images. I really love her work. We've got the bat here carrying the letter. Hello, butterfly. Nice to see you. Everybody's saying happy birthday to Christina. We've got Crossroads. So yeah, I got this back in 2018 as well. I did a lot of buying in 2018. Are you kind of picking that up? Bleak House by Charles Dickens. But yeah, it's the thing about this deck. It reminds me of, oh gosh, what's his name? Gory, Edward Gorey. I've actually got the Fantod pack, but it's with the black and white sketches and the same sort of art style. It reminds me of Edward Gorey, his art. And I did think about including the Fantod pack, but your collection is amazing, Simon. Thank you. I'm pleased with it myself. I like that thought that our souls are eternal. As I'm in my senior year, my whole week has been fantastic. That's good to hear. I'm glad you've had a good week. But yeah, our souls are eternal. You know, we're all the same age, all of us. That one is cute. So it's kind of a part one because I wanted to, and again, this is a gorgeous bag that Anne, who was here in the chat, Anne Ford made me in the black and the yellow, which houses this deck amazingly. So I love this pouch, and this is one of my favorite mass market decks. I just think it's great. Again, we've got the same bat that's on the deck that I just showed you, but yeah, this is very sort of curious. But this is obviously a coloured version, and as I said, I think unless anybody, because I did order it from Schiffer, but it never arrived, or it hasn't yet. The Oracle Lenormand, and I think they've actually called it a Lenormand, the Schiffer one. I think it's just the same as that House of Shadows, but renamed and coloured. Carla loves the Shadowland deck. I do too. I will show you my favourite card, but you know, in terms of creepiness and oddity and all things wonderful and unusual and strange, then it's all in this deck. The only thing with this deck is it has bowed a little bit, but I've got a backup because if there's a deck that I really, really like and I want to work with, I always get a backup just in case anything happens and it goes out of print, because that's happened to me before. It has only happened because I was modifying it and I messed up and then I couldn't get it because it had gone out of print. But look, I love that. That isn't the one. I do this. I'll show you my favourite and then show you a ton of others before. So let me get to it. This is it. Everybody knows I really like the Five of Pentacles because the RWS Five of Pentacles reminds me of kind of like the journey I've been on, leaving religion, being on the outside, feeling left out in the cold, blah, 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 hole in the soul and all that kind of stuff. Chris, hello to you. Oh, how are you, Chris? How are you doing? But the Five of Pentacles in this deck, I love it. We've got Sasquatch, Bigfoot, looking on, you know, he's out in the cold. There's a family there, going out in nature, having a bonfire, toasting some s'mores. And he wants to be part of something. He's alone, left out. But yeah, this deck is really, really creepy. So in 7th position, oh, look at that. That reminds me of a ghost story. Remember that film we watched, Sandra, when you was here with Elle? It kind of reminds me of that film. There's another really creepy one. There's Nessie. Bit of a Scotland theme going on tonight from what I was talking about at the beginning. So yeah, so in 7th place, it's the two Monica Badersky's decks. Yes, it was a cool film. I wasn't impressed. No, they weren't. But well, actually, they were, because at the time they were like, "What have I just watched?" But then the next day, I was like, "I need to watch it again," because it's one of those films that stays with you, and you think about it, and you keep thinking about it. In 6th place, and this is just for Chris's arrival into the chat, because I remember him mentioning this once, and he was like, "What is that?" So it's the Alien Sex Club by John Walter. Alien Sex Club. This is definitely a deck that I would put into a cabinet of curiosity. I mean, Alien Sex Club is a mishmash of incredible art. Alien Sex Club was a not traveling. Well, I guess it was traveling, but it was a art exhibition that John Waters did. Touring, that's it, a touring art installation that went around, and it has a theme of, if it does have a theme, but there is a recurring theme of a virus, particularly HIV related, but virus and how viruses kind of mutate. But then it also brings in lots of strange pop culture as well. These are the back, which are quite cool backs. Talk of the Devil, and here they are. Hi, Elle. Nice to see you. And Patrice is here. Hello, Patrice. I think it's this deck that's bringing people out of the woodwork. So yeah, it's just really odd. And in terms of the theme of the tag, you know, your kind of unusual, different, odd, curios type of deck that you would put, needs a bit of a beefcake, that you would put into the cabinet. This is one of them. There's our Gale. If anybody's in the UK, mind you, it's shown, I think it's shown overseas as well, but Gale from Coronation Street. And there are kind of like 80s cartoons, there's soap actors, sci-fi figures, but it's really quite odd. Oh, I was lurking, was they? Indeed, I was. Yeah, it's real. I love, and again, what's that deck that's quite X-rated? But it's that sort of same use of block colour, isn't it? There's bow selector. Ooh. I'm not gonna do it. What was it? You complete set of bastard, you. Cats. Breaking Bad for Crystal. We've got Anne Maggie look. Again, lots of body beautifuls, virus and strains. Hi, Jonathan. Ancestor. Lots of different archetypes. Doctor doesn't follow the traditional tarot at all. Again, here we've got virus mutating things. Recognise her? Let's see some others that, I mean, there's some trigger warning, you know, injection of drugs. We've got Jiminy Cricket. A webcam, because why not? We've also got Daniela Westbrook without her septum. Is it septum? That bit there. There's a huge case. So she was in EastEnders. She played one of the butchers, Diane Butcher, one of the butchers anyway. And she, in her own, as an actor, not as an actor, as in a real person, not in the program, lost her septum from snorting too much cocaine. And then we've got our June Brown lot, who'd passed away a couple of months ago. I think she was 96. So I just find this really, really fascinating. I don't use it as a tarot deck, but because they're not kind of, I mean, they do have 4 suits. They're not your traditional suits. We've got Elma. The Hanged Man. Yeah, so lots of viruses and strains and things like that. Penis warning. I'm going to have to say it because they'll say, "Oh, he could have warned us." And I think this is the one that Chris mentioned last time I showed this deck. Interestingly, it's the appendage is a different colour to everything else. It kind of gives the reference to a banana. Got Fido. Pfizer. I mean, this was before, you know, the coronavirus. And I know it's got a viral theme, but you know, you got Pfizer here, and I'm not quite sure what that other one says, but yeah. So, Alien Sex Club Tarot is one I would definitely. Whoop! There it is. Is one I would definitely. Banana Penneth. You've really got some odd decks, Simon. Yeah. So, Alien Sex Club is number 6. So now we're into the top 5. Pfizer is also known for pushing narcotics. Okay, wasn't aware of that. Mind you, I've never even heard of Pfizer before coronavirus anyway. Definitely curious mix. One to chat over with a drink or two. Yeah. And just to imagine just having a few friends around, having a few sherries, and then pulling some cards from that deck. I mean, I just don't know how I'd interpret them. So I've had it because it is gimmicky, but yeah, I'd love to do that. Have some friends and have a drink. An alien deck to me, anyway, says Anne. I think it's quite alien to a few of us. Hello, Candy. Candy, you've arrived for at least the top 5. I've done my 10 down to 5 because this is Candy's tag, as I mentioned. My 10th was Carnival at the End of the World, which is very macabre and haunting. 9 is Mibramig Magical Tarot, which is quite quirky, I find, with lots of half animal, half people, that sort of thing. Then 8 was Cute and Creepy by Misha, and that really lives up to its name. It's got lots of monsters and things like that. 7 was the Monica Badirski's decks. House of Shadows I showed first, but then I also mentioned Shadowlands. But I was saying how House of Shadow is very sort of akin to Edward Gorey's art. And then we've just had the Alien Sex Club by John Water, which was an art exhibition that travelled, and it's based on virus and mutating viruses and HIV, but also brings in a lot of pop culture that John Walter, grew up with, and soap opera stars and adverts and cartoons from his childhood. So that was 10 down to 5. So in 5th place is a deck that I love. It's my only Marseille deck that's included in this. And at one time, this was my favourite Marseille ever, before I found the New Choice Tarot de Marseille and the Tarot des Eaux Arcs. But if you've watched my channel for the last 5 years, you'll heard me rave about this. And one of my old title sequences, when I used to have the display board on the wall with all the cards on, had this deck on it. And it is Le Tarot de Marseille par Polka. And I love it. Now, again, this is definitely a deck that I would put into a cabinet of curiosity. It did get very bashed and dinged up. I've had to tape the box because I used to have this in my bag and I used to take it with me places. And I just love it. This bit is completely broken off. So let me just take them out. This is irreverent, and it's macabre, and it's gruesome, and it's fabulous. So here's our Valet of Cups. Oh, the backs are very Marseille in style, but if you look closely, it's not just a black and white pattern, they're actually little skulls. It's French, and I had to buy it from the French Amazon. I kind of wish that I bought 2 copies, although this is fine, and they are nice, sturdy cards. Emma said, "Oh, this is the second time I've seen this deck recently." Carla doesn't know the Par Polka deck. Emily says she's loving the tag because several of these decks are new to her. Look at that for the moon. La Luna. I'm going to burst into Belinda Carlisle in a minute. Le Pendu, the right way up, but look at that. This deck had a nickname of the intestine deck, because particularly in the minors, where you kind of get your arrangement and then you get florals, there's like intestines and entrails and all that sort of thing. Look at this. Look at the lovers. So he's got like his heart actually, Cupid's fired his bow, but it's actually caused quite a bit of damage. And she's just kind of like, sucks to be you. He's like, bloody hell, Cupid. Love this hermit. It's one of my favourite hermits. Tarot Noir. That was one I considered, Stephanie. It's not in mine, but this one certainly is. Look at Death as well. I think this is one I need. It's amazing. As I said, quite irreverent. She's showing her knickers there, look. As she falls from La Maison Dieu. Those sun goggles on. I love that sun. Really love it. Now, the minors, the colours they use in the background are stunning. We've got this beautiful kind of wine colour for the cups, and then we get a more vivid red for the wands. We've got a gorgeous green. There's the intestines, look, for the swords. And then we get this really beautiful blue for the pentacles. And they're the same all the way through. And it's just beautiful. Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about, oh, Emily says, what's this one? So this, you get it from Amazon France. It's Le Tarot de Marseille Par Polka. Par Polka. Par Polka, let's call it. But yeah, it's, I won't worry too much. You know, all I would do is get a tarot journal and write down, because if you read tarot anyway, you know what the suits represent, okay? Representing fire, water, and what they represent. Fire is our passion, etc. Water is our emotions. And so I would write down just in a jotter or something what 1 to 10 mean. And then, you know, if you pull, you just pull a card. What have I got here? I've got the 4 of Cups, stability. That's the word that springs to mind straight away when I think 4. That sort of stability, and that's the stability of your emotions. Okay, that's it. That's in its very basic. Obviously, you can have that as a starting point, and then you build on that. What is the querent asking about? What other things are you picking up? The courts are amazing as well. Yeah, so we've got these kind of weird sort of intestine things wrapping around the pips. They are gorgeous. They really are gorgeous. And when I had this on a wall display, it looks stunning. Really did. I mean, animal cruelty. So I know these are just drawings, but again, I've given out a few warnings tonight about sexually explicit images and things like that. But there's a horse here that's very badly injured. So just look away now if you don't want to see it. Okay, and it's gone. And we get people that are beheaded and impaled, and yeah, beautiful, beautiful green. It's one of my favorites. A decapitated queen, and I think he's done it. I think he's guilty. He's got a blood splash on his cheek. The pentacles are, well, the coins, because it's Marseille, are beautiful as well in this nice blue. Oh my God, that beheaded person, Simon, literally looks like a little girl in Hereditary. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I just think it's an incredible deck. A couple that I didn't show is the Devil. More, we've got the Pope. The artwork is amazing, really amazing. The Papesse. And we've got the Magician. Then you get a title card. So I love it. And as I said, it used to be my favourite Marseille for a long time. I know what you're saying, Calla, but people get very upset at any form of animals being, and I understand it, you know, I understand it. But they don't seem to get upset when you say, I'm going to show a deck that's gruesome and morbid. You kind of expect it, but then, you know, I still think it's only fair to mention when there's animal cruelty. So that was number 5. So how are we doing for time? We're doing plenty of time. So number 4. Now this is a weird deck. I saw it and I thought, I've got to have that. I've really got to have it because It's weird. It's based on the RWS, and it's a very strange shape because it's very long and thin, but it's the Mutation Tarot. And I'll just read the back. There's a tiny little bit on the back. It says, the Mutation Tarot deck was the result of a 1.5 year long project by illustrator Mario Rosa to reimagine the spirit, symbols, and imagery of the cards without using human beings. But then it says, we are all constantly changing every second of every day. We might not even recognize ourselves in the future. And it's the Mutation Tarot. So I thought, well, it does kind of show human beings, but it's the human beings of the future. And I don't know, I think I've shared before my theory on UFOs and aliens. I think that there are, it's ridiculous to think that of all the billions of galaxies, let alone planets, that we're the only ones with life on it. But I do think it would be quite difficult to get to us. But, somebody said to me once, and I had a light bulb moment. Somebody said to me once, well, time travel is never going to happen because if it did, people from the future would be here now telling us that they've traveled back in time. And I just said, unless they're watching from a distance. And then I thought, maybe a flying saucer is the machine from the future that takes people, I don't know, through a black hole or whatever. And, you come back in time. But because they can't, because if we went back to the past, I don't know, and assassinated Hitler, which I'd be tempted to do, then the whole of time and everything changes, doesn't it? So, that won't be a bad thing. That was probably a bad analogy. But, people wouldn't be born, people wouldn't exist, different things. It would just, I think it could be catastrophic to change the fabric of history. So I think if we can time travel, then we'd watch and observe from a distance. So my theory has always been that we evolve, and that's why we look like we do in the future. And AI, I don't know if anybody's ever seen the film AI, where that little kid's in it. What's his name? Haley Joel Osment, I think it is. He gets trapped on a seabed for millions of years. And when he's rescued, the humans have evolved and they look like greys, They've got these big heads and little skinny bodies. And I thought, yes, you see. Anyway, got to be like Marty McFly. Remember how he started to vanish in the photo? Yeah, you change something in history, it has massive effects going forward. Wasn't there a time traveling cop movie? Well, there was RoboCop. Was it RoboCop, or was it the Terminator? Terminator, wasn't it? Terminator came back. I'll be back, but he came from the future. Because wasn't he going to try and kill Sarah Connor? Because Sarah Connor gave birth to a son that was going to have, was he like a freedom fighter or something? I can't remember, but it was in the 80s. I watched it. So, so this deck, look how tall and thin it is as well. I love the backs. But yeah, in terms of an average tarot size card, it's thinner but a lot taller. They're long and thin, but it suits the artwork actually. Oh, Robin says, I've had this deck on my wish list for ages. I need the Mutation deck. Other than the walkthrough, I can't remember who it was. The first time I saw this and somebody showed it, I've never seen anybody else show it or talk about it. I do think it's out of print now. Seem to recall that much. So it's very RWS based. So it's kind of like a reimagining of RWS, but set in a time where we've mutated. or evolved, however you want to. Yeah, Chris, this is what we're going to look like in the future. Our significator card. It's very colourful. I love it for that. Look at this strength card. The name of the deck, Jonathan, is the Well, it's not it's just Mutation Tarot. But wouldn't this, like a black beetle, wouldn't this look great in a cabinet of curiosities? I love that longer, thinner shape of card. Yeah. But yeah, it's very, very RWS. With its own twist. Two of Wands. The Three of Wands is very different, Robin, sorry to say. But all the others seem to be kind of like in keeping. Shauna's card. The Nightmare card. So yeah, so that's the Mutation Mutation Tarot. I love her. I think she's very elegant with her 6 eyes. Hello, Vintage Moon. Nice to see you. Oh, the Lost Tarot. Lost Tarot? My Lost Tarot isn't tall and thin. Maybe that would be an improvement. Okay, so number two. Talking of which, is Lost Tarot. But my Lost Tarot is Diddy. And this is Lost Tarot. It could be a different name, another deck with the same name. But this is Lost Tarot by Dominic Murphy. Love Dominic Murphy's art. This was quite expensive to get. I think you can still get it. And I think it has come down in price. Now, this is a majors only. Now, you know what I'm like for majors only, but it's a 54 card majors only deck. Well, say, yeah, 54 card, but it's numbered 0 to 53, but 54 cards. My pet peeve, I love this little plastic case that it comes in. It's perfect for it with a lift off lid. My pet peeve are the backs because it has Lost Tarot printed on every freaking card, and I don't know why, but it's kind of like bridge size. It's very nice to shuffle. I spent this afternoon putting this one back in order because I kind of wanted, because it's unique in as much as it's a majors deck, but with all the extra cards, I wanted to show it kind of in order. Oh my goodness, Twist the Leaf. How the heck are you? Gosh, it must be at least a year since I've seen you. I hope you're doing okay. Yes, I agree, MA. Putting the name on the back. But I forgive them because the deck is awesome. Really awesome. So here's our Fool. Now, it's called Lost Tarot because it's based on Atlantis, the kind of myths and legends of Atlantis. But again, this deck would be right near the front, wouldn't it, in a cabinet of curiosities, and that's why it's my number two. Been a long time. It really has. It's lovely to see you. Really nice to see you. In fact, what deck was it that have you got Paw Polka? I seem to remember on one of your vlogs, not that long ago, I think you showed Paw Polka. I'm sure. I've missed a category out. I've missed number 3. Why has nobody told me? I've gone straight to number 2. I've gone from 4, which is Mutation Tarot, to number 2. I've missed number 3 out, so we're gonna have to do it in reverse order. I love the Lovers. Got that serpent wrapped around them. Hi, Mika. Strength is amazing. Love our Hermit. Cardstock is really nice as well. Really good cardstock. It's got a lovely, it's got that waxy feel. So your fingers feel a little bit kind of waxy afterwards. Justice. My Lost Tarot's Tall and Thin just came out this year and was made from photos taken at different Renaissance fairs. All right, so it's a different one completely. Temperance, epic, as is the Devil. Look at that, Devil. Okay, so we've got the Moon, La Lune, and the Sun. And then as we come to the end of what would be the traditional majors with the World, it then carries on right up to card 53. So we have Alchemy, Hesperus, Wreck of the Hesperus. I love this card. It's explicit, but there's just something about it I love. It's the Necromancer card, but look, the artwork is incredible. We have the Elements, Tempest, we have Rebirth. Love that, Sandra. It's great, isn't it? Angel, Secunda. We have the Ego card. Oh, look at that for an image. That whole yin and yang. That looks like a real primal scream. The Clematis. Memento Mori. We have the Void. Very, very similar in art style. Run away from the death head moth. We have the Holy Grail. So now we're up to card 40. So what do you think to this? Definitely, it's definitely a Cabinet of Curiosity style deck, isn't it? Look at that. Lenormand. Sacred Name. This one, I think, is amazing. It's called Simius. Look at that. Ah, 51, 52. Simon merged with the Crows. 52 majors is a lot of majors. 54 because the full card is 0 and then the last card is 53. So it's a 54 card tarot deck. So we'll now go back to my third, what was in third place. Can't believe I missed it out. So this is number 2, actually. So in third place, now somebody said, I bet Deviant Moon's in there, but it isn't. But it is a Patrick Valenza deck. And it's the Carte De Visite. This is, and there's the Fenwood Asylum on the back. This deck is so creepy, so spooky, really, really unusual, and it just gives you chills. But Carte De Visite is the visitation card, so it's a business card, really in translation. But yeah, it's just, so I'll show you what you get. Is an image on one side and then some writing on the back. But I'll show you the images. Look at that. How creepy is that? Perfect in a curiosity cabinet, yeah. Daddy assured me that monsters weren't real, but I was never convinced. Ooh. The Pain Sisters. The Pain Sisters had talent to match their beauty. And this deck came out, gosh, well, I bought this in 2016. So, and I think it's been long out of print now. Our founder, 1885. I just love Patrick's mind. Bedlam Portrait Studios. Look at that. Violet takes dear Uncle Jack for a ride around the park. I blame Stephen King. So they're kind of photographic, photo manipulation, but really, really creepy. Professor Von Skellett. What does he do? Inspires. I could read that then. Professor Von Skellett inspires his class with another useful lesson. 666. But notice as well, like on the back, Patrick's flying skull. Let's just skip her through some. This one is Lucifer Hellsworth wins again. World's Greatest Bastard, 1898. That's creepy, isn't it? I think I need another light on. It's getting a bit shadowy. Let's try that. Let's try that. Ow! Trap my foot under the wheel of the chair. This says Deviant Moon, New York. Sweet Lily Abbey, a dainty lass full of, then it says poise, and it's crossed out and changed to poison. Simon, I've done absolutely no cleaning since you came on. Blame it on Simon. Yes, Saturday. Saturday. Cleaning can wait. Look at this little demon cat. Demons make good pets. The little chef prepares a meaty treat for his guests. The widow. You get some kind of early inspiration here, don't you, for his future decks. Rumour said her husband's drowning was no accident. I love the writing on the back, the way it's written as well. Oh, this is freaky. Death is an easy sleep. Look at that. Nightmare, carry me away from a restless day. Nettie's dark secret haunted her throughout her life. Caroline says, Lucifer Hellsworth. Thank goodness I dumped that guy. There's the landlord. And then the last one, Bedlam. Again, this is a Bedlam Portrait Studios one. Guess who? It just says. Yeah, so that's Patrick Valenza's Carte De Visite, visiting cards. And I just think I couldn't do a cabinet of curiosities without this one being in there. Gosh, I can hardly look at this one, says Anita. So that's that. So that was in third place. Then just imagine now I've just showed you the Lost Tarot in second place. So what's number one? What is my number one curiosity deck? It is, and it's in a bag, and it's purposely in a bag because I don't like the name of this deck. But this deck is called, well, I call it the Shadow Deck. But its real name, even though, you know, I don't have a box or anything, so there's nowhere it's called it, but it's called the Ritual Abuse Tarot. I edged it in black because it is a black and white deck. Now, this deck is homage to Stephen Gammell, who wrote Stories to Tell in the Dark. I think that's what it was called. I think it was quite a big show over in the States. Well, this is my ultimate cabinet of curiosities deck. I actually really like this deck. The cardstock isn't the best. It's linen, and it's kind of a soft linen. It's not the thickest, but it's nice. It's great if you're a little shuffler. I feel as though I have to get holy water to watch this. I've never heard of it or any of these, to be honest. Oh wow, none at all. Um, so yeah, so this is very dark, it's very satirical, and it's a homage to Stephen Gammell, the illustrator of many books and things he did, but I think the one he was most famous for was Stories to Tell in the Dark. And you'll see why if you're familiar with those type of books. Hi Mo, just ordered the Queer Tarot deck. Watched your discussion with Chris the other night. Live in New Zealand, it takes a while. Oh, I hope you love it like I do. Gerald brought this deck after seeing my video. I like it for reasons difficult to explain. Yeah, I debated when I did my workhorse decks, the tag, my workhorse decks. I debated putting this one in as the shadow work deck because I call this the shadow deck because I don't refer to it as ritual abuse. I mean, look at that hermit. But then I thought, well, it's not the one. I'm talking about workhorse, and I haven't used this one as much as I have like the Deviant Moon, so that's why. But this is just great for really unearthing what's going on when you see some of these images. It really does kind of get under your skin and goes deep. Look at the Page of Pentacles. I just think this is amazing. Purgatorium. Yeah, Purgatorium is amazing by Jens Freeborg. Yeah, that's a good one too. Like I said at the beginning, I started off thinking, I don't know if I've got 10 decks that are kind of oddities or, you know, a little bit different, a little bit unusual, a bit macabre, that would go into a cabinet of curiosities. And then when I started, I was like, I could have done top 20 easily. Look at the Fool. The Devil. I really love this this Nine of Swords. Look at that. Haven't seen you since last night. You too, Joe. Oh, is Ben here? People are saying hello to Ben, but I can't see him. Let's have to scroll up. Oh, this looks like an interesting deck. Yes, this is an interesting deck. So, this is my number one. I've done 10 down to 1, but this one is really cool. Well, I think it's really cool. The only thing I don't like about it is the name of it, but like I say, I don't have a box. It's in a bag, so you can call it whatever you want, really. And says, need to watch a good fun comedy on Netflix after this. Any ideas? The Lovers. She means business. She will get herself a man. She's going out to Club One. And then our Two of Cups lot. High Priestess. Try and show you a couple. There's the Star. Try and find some. I was gonna say try and find some creepy ones, but they're all pretty creepy. Love this Queen of Pentacles. Look at that. Look at the demon figure in the background. Isn't that amazing? Breakfast, of course, Rob. Three of Pentacles is a powerful image as well. Enjoy your breakfast, Jonathan. How do you find monochrome decks for reading with? I quite like them. I mean, one of my favorite ever monochrome decks is Tarot of the Abyss. Always an easy to grab reaching point. I've got quite a few monochrome decks, and I really like them. Another one is the New Era Elements. It's quite a few, but this one, look at that. Significator card. What do we think to it? Do you think you could work with this for shadow work, or there's our death card. Love this one. Look at this. I say love it. It makes it sound like I'm really disturbed, doesn't it? But I just mean the imagery, the artwork. Strength is really powerful. Oh, Trio got toiling hands because of me. We saw that in the shop, didn't we, Sandra, last weekend? Was it last weekend you came? 2 weekends ago. They're now selling it in my local shop because the artist is actually from Nottingham. So Ben says, I really love black and white decks at the moment. Yes, I think this is great shadow work deck. I think I just don't get this deck, so pass from me, says Emmy. Kristen reminds me of a goth days, art in school. Twist the Leaf has it and uses it for shadow work. Beth could not use it. Having a difficult time looking at the cards. It gives me shivers. There's the Five of Pentacles. Oh, this is a bit morbid. The Tower card. Four of Cups. Oh, look at the Page of Wands. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. Ace of Pentacles is great. And then I've got two left. The Knight of Pentacles. And Page of Swords. So that's my number one. Sorry, I've got my AirPods in, and I thought I put Do Not Disturb on my phone, and I've got a call coming in. Why is it's coming up in the top corner? But they can ring back, or I'll ring them back. It's throwing me off now. Yeah, so my number one deck for ringing again. My number one deck for gosh, it's really put me off. The hashtag Top 10 Curiosity Decks, which was started by Candy, the Candy Soul and Soil. So do check it out. Like I said, I'll link it into the bio below. Thank you for watching, everybody. I really enjoyed doing this tag. So thank you, Candy, for starting it. If you haven't done it yet and you've got decks that you think would go into a cabinet of curiosities, I need to take my AirPods out, then I'd love to see your choices. I'm gonna have to go, guys. Really sorry, but thank you for being here. It's been lovely to spend the last hour and a half with you. And yeah, look after yourselves. Have a great rest of the weekend. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.